Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. 25 days to Christmas. Day number 20. Movie review on Fred Claus. Let's get into it. So, this is one of my faves, starring Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti. And Paul Giamatti plays as Santa Claus, and Vince Vaughn as Fred Claus, which is the brother to Santa Claus. And you got a cameo appearance of Ludacris. He plays DJ Donnie. It's an elf. Mother Claus is Kathy Bates. You have Kevin Spacey. He plays as Clyde. Elizabeth Banks plays as Charlene. John Michael Higgins, he plays as Willie, which is an elf. And then you have Bobby J. Thompson. He plays as Samuel. Slam is his nickname. So what this movie is about, it starts off with the birth of Santa Claus. And Fred Claus is the older brother, and he promised Santa Claus he will always be a great big brother. But what happened is the mom always took to Nicholas, which is Santa Claus, and kind of always made Fred Claus look like he wasn't worthy enough, or whatever he didn't amount to what Nicholas did. So Nicholas loved his brother, and he always tried to make him happy, but in the process of making him happy, he would do things that like kind of swayed him. So it was like one of the times he was feeling slighted, like alienated from the family, and he had this tree who used to talk to this bird that he felt was his friend. And Nicholas thought he was helping him out and said, Fred, we're going to bring this tree. So he cut the tree down that he really liked and said, we're going to bring it in the house since you really like this tree. But then that's where he used to talk to the bird at, so the bird ended up flying off. And so he resented Santa Claus for that. So fast forward, he developed hate towards Santa Claus and Christmas. They split apart, and Santa Claus went on to be, do his thing as Santa Claus, and he went on to live in the real world. So he runs his own moving company, and they not moving company, they repo people's furniture, that rent furniture and stuff like that. And so it is like comic relief. It's a lot of jokes. Vince Vaughn, if you follow Vince Vaughn movies, he's comedic, in his humorous in his films. So Fred Claus has a girlfriend that she doesn't know he's actually the brother of Santa Claus. She thinks he's a normal guy, but he has a problem with commitment, but he really loves her, but he has a odd way of showing it. So she wants to go further. He's dragging his feet, and she's getting tired of his mess. And he's making promises that he never could keep. Meanwhile, at the North Pole, Santa Claus he's underneath the gun because kids want more than one present, and he can't keep up the quota of toys that's needed for each child. So the organizations is considering shutting him down because he can't keep up the quota. Meanwhile, also he's in poor health because he's overweight and stuff like that. So whenever Fred gets in some type of turmoil, he calls his brother, but he only calls him when he needs him. So Miss Claus, she doesn't like that, so she calls out Fred Claus in reference to that when he does it. So of course Fred gets in trouble. He gets locked up. He needs bail money, and he calls Nicholas. And on top of that, he wants to open like a lounge sports bar by the New York Exchange, and he wants he needs $50,000. So he asks Nicholas on top of the bail money, 5,000 bail money, give me another 50,000, and I'll pay it back to you after my investment. And so, being as though their relationship is not close, Nicholas Claus basically said, "I give it to you, but you gotta come up here to the North Pole and earn it." So basically, that's his ploy of trying to get his brother to come up and see him. They can spend time, and so because he needed the money, he agreed to go, and he was chilling at home, and he hears these little footsteps, and it's basically the elf bringing a sleigh on top of the roof and to get him and stuff like that. So the board, like I said, is trying to shut Santa Claus and the elves down. And that's where Kevin Spacey's character come in, who's Clyde, and he comes in and he's pretty much being an a-hole and telling them he got 3 strikes. Fred comes out there, and Fred ain't used to that type of work, so he kind of messed things up. And Clyde is also doing conniving things as well to make sure things don't get done. So, long story short, it's fun filled. It's a good family movie. It's a good spirited movie about the importance of Christmas, and it's about family and loving each other and being there for one another. You also have a moment where the history with Santa. They said it, don't be on the naughty list so you don't get a present. So like Fred Claus, he has the theory there shouldn't be a naughty list, because every child, good or bad, deserve a present on Christmas Day. Because if the ones that you even call bad, they caught a bad break, or they might be going through something that caused them to be that way. So good point right there, So other than that, good film. All ages go watch the film. Good film to watch. It keeps the spirit going. Subscribe, like this video, and like I said before, keep the peace and cheer going through the Christmas holidays. Till next time.